Continuing from the previous episode 410. Cough, cough. Xiao Yan's terrifying soul attack also directly caught the man in black in front of him by surprise. After a slight pause, Xiao Yan also directly hugged Mu Yingying and moved away. In an instant, he and the man in black opened a distance of nearly 10 meters. The accessories in the whole room are also very simple, just some simple table and tea sets, and the whole room is only 70 to 80 square meters. He, boy, how did you get in? The man in black also recovered, and then said angrily. Thinking that a dignified 7-star Do Emperor-level powerhouse was unexpectedly silently entered by a mere 4-star Do Emperor-level perfect boy, he couldn't help feeling a little unhappy. If you want people to be ignorant, don't do it yourself. Xiao Yan also said plainly. This is your courting death, no wonder I. After the man in black finished speaking, he suddenly raised his palm and attacked Xiao Yan. The palm of the man in black was slightly pitch black. In the dark environment, it seemed that there was some strange aura surrounding the palm. Ghost hand. The man in black snorted coldly, and then the strange black color in his hand increased sharply, roaring towards Xiao Yan. What a terrifying power fluctuation. This power should have reached the level of the 7-star Do Emperor. However, this person's aura seems to have the same effect as the ghost in the ghost world. Xiao Yan also thought for a while. After thinking to no avail, Xiao Yan also let the man in black attack him. Xiao Yan also calmly did not make any move, just opened his mouth and said, Master, is it enough to watch the fun? Hey, you little fellow's soul perception is not weak. It's no wonder that you are an alchemist who has reached the peak of the first-rank emperor rank at such an age. A hearty voice also appeared in this room. Dushan? With the appearance of this voice, the offensive in the hands of the menacing man in black just now disappeared instantly, and then exclaimed. The man in black also found that there was an old man with a lazy face in the room at this time. The old man didn't have any fluctuations in fighting spirit, but a trembling of willingness to the depths of his soul emerged in the heart of the man in black. Xinya 81 Zhang Weian Wang Yu. Kai 8.1 ZS, Koem, since you're here, let's stay. Elder Zhu also appeared, and with a slight wave of his pale palm, a silver vindictive energy trapped him firmly. Not loose at all, damn it. The hoarse voice of the man in black also sounded. Obviously, he didn't expect such a terrifying powerhouse to exist beside these people. Who sent you here? Elder Zhu also walked forward slowly, and then said to the man in black who was firmly trapped by the silver grudge. If you want to kill, you have to kill Shi Tingzhen, so why ask so much? There was no hint of fear in the hoarse voice of the man in black. I know even if you don't tell me. Is he a member of the royal family? The next moment, Zhu Lao's pupils also exuded some extreme power, and then stared at the man in black in front of him. What if it is? What if it isn't? The man in black also said stubbornly. Your royal family almost plotted against my disciple, and now they catch you, just to return. Zhu Lao also laughed, but the hidden killing intent in his voice could not be concealed. After Elder Zhu finished speaking, the silver vindictive aura surrounding the man in black also dimmed slightly. Shabu Shabu. The man in black is also worthy of the level of the 7-star Do Emperor. He immediately found that the strength of the fighting chi that trapped him was weakening, and his aura suddenly soared. The next moment, he also broke through the shackles of Do Chi, and then the figure jumped and strung out directly from the roof. With this appearance, it is obvious that he wants to escape. Because the man in black also knows that he is doing things for the third prince, and the third prince has great ambitions. If he fails to do things, even if others don't kill him, he will definitely not be able to escape death if he goes back. After all, these 3 princes do not recognize the 6 relatives, and only recognize their interests. Teacher, did he just run away? Xiao Yan was also a little surprised. Obviously, the man in black from the 7-star Do Emperor just now would definitely not have a low status in this Xuanling royal family. If he escaped like this, there is no doubt that you let the tiger return to the mountain. Run? How is that possible? It's just a long line to catch a big fish. Zhu Lao laughed. As soon as Zhu Lao's voice fell, it was a strange moment, and he appeared on the roof of the room in an instant. Standing on the roof of the room, I also vaguely found a figure not far away that perfectly blended the fast and the dark. Where are you running? Elder Zhu also snorted coldly, and then a grudge came out of his hand. It's just a little strange that the do chi in old Ju's hands is no longer silver, but instead is a black and white substantive do chi. This fluctuation. Xiaoyan and Mu Yingying were also in the room, and then Long Yi's pupils on Xiaoyan also shrank tightly. It actually reached the half-immortal level. Long Yi was also surprised. Half-immortal? Xiaoyan heard the words and said directly, and then his huge perception was also directed towards Zhu Lao. Just when this soul force detected the black and white fighting spirit in old Ju's hands, a tremor from the depths of the soul also emerged, and then Xiaoyan sat directly on the ground. Life and death are compatible. Fighting immortals. Xiaoyan also muttered in his mouth. Fighting immortals. Mu Yingying felt nervous when she heard the words, and she couldn't help thinking of what her brother said to herself. Yingying, remember, human beings are not good things, you must not trust them. You have to stay away from them. And you remember that the strong human beings will discover your link to identity www.novelmtl.com. Do not come into close contact with the strong immortals. In the sky at night, the terrifying fighting spirit in old Ju's hands was also instantly moving towards the place where the man in black escaped. Shabu. The fighting chi that is compatible with life and death contains extremely terrifying fluctuations. As soon as he came to the man in black, it suddenly exploded, and then a terrifying force mixed with the power of life and death also exploded instantly. Boom, boom, boom. A huge pit also appeared, and then, where are there people in black? Some are just a vague and embarrassed figure. There is no vitality at all. The power of life and death is so terrifying. It's no wonder that fighting immortals are so rare. It turns out that fighting immortals are so terrifying. It seems to be a little heavier. Elder Zhu also shook his head and said, after all, Elder Zhu also knows that this man in black is a lurker, and even if he is caught, he will not reveal any news, so it is better to give this mysterious royal family a show of power. His disciple of Burning Incense Pavilion Zujin is not so easy to bully. Inside a quiet wooden house, the third prince, Xuanmu, was sitting in a dignified manner, holding a scroll of ancient books in his hand and reading with great interest. Bang bang bang. In the study, a wooden sign on the top of the bookshelf also exploded instantly, and the sound of explosion also emerged. He actually died, Xuanmu also said softly, obviously with an unbelievable look. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 411. Damn it. What exactly is going on? Yi Gui is clearly at the level of the 7-star Do Di. How could he be killed by someone? Xinya 81 Zhang Huiyan Wang Yu, Kai 8, approximately 1 ZS, Coem. That woman is only at the level of a 5-star fighting emperor. How could it be possible? Zanmu also said slowly. Then he exclaimed in disbelief. The next moment, Xuanmu was also quite heartbroken. This night ghost has done a lot of shameful things for him over the years. Now being killed by someone is tantamount to losing him. A rib. After calming down his mood a little, Zanmu also got up, walked slowly to the window, opened the window, and broke through to discover that there were several figures in the sky at this time. Hey, who am I? It turns out that you are an old man, Zhu Jin. Just now, Lao Zhu killed the man in black, and a rather burly man appeared in the sky. The man's muscles are very developed, and his well-defined muscle structure looks like a man of infinite strength. The person who came is impressively the powerhouse of the ancient desolate palace. The fifth elder of the ancient desolate hall today, Arakawa. A character comparable to the perfection level of the 7-star Do Di. This ancient desolate temple is also very good, because the ancient desolate temple mainly focuses on physical strength, relying on the power of high-intensity physical strength to control the enemy, and is famous for its tyrannical degree, which is different from other sects that practice fighting qigong. But Rao is so, I am afraid that no one dares to look down on them. Arakawa, I didn't expect you to come too. Elder Zhu also slowly turned his head, glanced at the person who came, and said, I didn't expect you to vaguely touch the threshold of Do Xian. It really embarrassed us. Arakawa also said with a bit of envy. After all, it is more difficult for them to cultivate the body line than ordinary fighting chi, so it is even more difficult for them to rely on physical strength to advance to the advanced stage. By the way, you were just now. Arakawa also said, it's nothing, I just killed a wild dog. Elder Zhu also said slowly to a certain direction. Hee hee, isn't this the famous Zhu Jin? I don't know what happened just now. The person who came was the King Xuanling of the current Xuanling royal family. When such a serious matter was discovered, King Xuanling had to come forward, otherwise it would cause unnecessary panic. This person tried to kill my disciple of Burning Incense Pavilion, but I accidentally killed him. Elder Zhu also said in a slightly funny way, obviously he didn't care about King Xuanling either. Hee, that's really what it deserves. King Xuanling also responded, and then there was a bit of displeasure on his lips, but it was fleeting. Because of the Xuanling King at this time, I vaguely felt a rather obscure aura from Zhu Jin in front of me. King Xuanling also turned his head to look at the figure lying in the giant pit, and frowned. Isn't this Xuanemu's bodyguard? How could it be? It's just that King Xuanling also suppressed the fluctuations in his heart, and then said, since it's all right, then please come back, the auction will start tomorrow. Let's go, let's go, let's go. After Zhu Lao finished speaking, he also disappeared into the sky and returned to the inn where he lived. Teacher, are you all right? Xiao Yan also asked. It's all right, you go down and rest. Elder Zhu also said, yes. Xiao Yan and Mu Yingying also responded. There seems to be something on Mu Yingying's body. I can't see through it, it's strange. Elder Zhu looked at the back of Mu Yingying leaving, and said slowly. The Xuanling King in the sky also picked up the embarrassed blurry figure, disappeared into the sky, and returned to the palace. Come on, call Xuanmu for me, King Xuanling also said angrily. Damn Zhu Jin, he broke through to the level of a half-immortal unexpectedly. The power of life and death contained in the attack just now is too strong. I am afraid that ordinary half-immortal powerhouses are not so strong. I'm afraid the people who Solomon went to encircle and suppress are also more fortunate and less fortunate. But that's fine, let the more people from Solomon die, the better. Ha ha ha, half-immortal powerhouse, let alone a peak Do Emperor and 2 8-star Do Emperor powerhouses to encircle and suppress, even if the number is doubled, it won't help. King Xuanling laughed at the next moment. Although their Xuanling Emperor and Solomon have always had close cooperation, it does not mean that they and Solomon are grasshoppers on the same boat. When the disaster is imminent, they will fly separately. The more Solomon's strength is reduced, the easier it will be for him to rule the entire Zon Santian in the future. Royal Father, are you looking for me? A gentle voice also appeared slowly. Xuanmu, tell me, what's going on today? King Xuanling also said, but the unpleasantness in his voice was also very obvious. Today in the medicine market, I met a female disciple in the Burning Incense Pavilion. I sensed some familiar aura from her, so I made an assertion and planned to arrest her for research. Where did you expect what would happen today? Xuanemu's expression also changed, looking at the night ghost in front of him. His heart was also greatly shocked. This night ghost is a figure of the 7-star Do Emperor's perfection level. If such a strong person is killed in an instant, then the strength of the killer is probably extremely fearful. Don't think about it, it was dried by bamboo embers. It seems that we assassinated his disciple in the Xuanling Emperor Pond, and now this is a disgrace for us. Actually reached a half-immortal. King Xuanling also said slowly. How can it be, half-immortal? Xuanmu also asked in surprise. You can't be wrong, UU reading link to www.youcanshu.com is the power that blends life and death. King Xuanling also said, it seems that this Burning Incense Pavilion can't be kept. Father, the decapitation plan should be advanced. Xuanmu also said, when I return from the Desert of Death this time, I can almost start the execution. King Xuanling also said, bless the Father and Imperial Banner to be victorious. Xuanmu also said respectfully, okay, let's go. It's an eventful season recently, so you should keep a low profile. When I come back from the lonely Desert of Death, it's time to change the position of this king. King Xuanling also said, yes, Royal Father. Xuanmu also said, but he was extremely happy. Hee, Xuanmu, you have a good face. I hope you don't do anything wrong, otherwise. King Xuanling also said to himself, it seems that we still need to let the members of the Xuanling royal family keep a low profile. After all, although the strength has skyrocketed a lot, it is all related to the people of the Soul Clan. Solomon, you guys are just a stepping stone. When I break through Do Xian, then there is no cooperation. If you don't obey, you will die. But it seems that I have to send people to contact the Soul Clan. When the time comes, I will break through the Do Xian and rule the entire Xuanxin Santian. Ha ha ha! King Xuanling also laughed, but at this moment, a faint flame spread out from King Xuanling's body instantly. The flames were rosy throughout, but the power of Xiaoyan's fusion of 23 kinds of different fires was only strong but not weak. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 412. The night was silent, and soon dawn would come, and with the birth of a little afterglow, it also heralded the beginning of a new day. In the early morning, when the afterglow of the sun scatters over Xuanling City, there are also huge crowds in Xuanling City. Because they all know what day is today. Today is the prosperous world of the entire Zon Santian, the auction. A once-in-a-decade auction. Every time there is an auction, there will be some extremely amazing things, so this auction of the Xuanling royal family can be regarded as a rare prosperity in the entire Xuanzhen 3 days. The auction of the Xuanling royal family is divided into 5 auction venues of Shentiandi Xuanwang. Immortal level auction house. The people who can enter this are undoubtedly the heads or core backbones of major forces. Of course, this immortal level auction house is also the largest auction house for the Xuanling royal family, and many rare treasures are also from here. It was circulated in the auction house. As for the one lower than this, it is a heaven-level auction house. Those who can enter the heaven-level auction are undoubtedly some prominent figures in the entire Zon Santian. Although the heaven-level auction is not as general as the fairy-level auction, sometimes there are some very good things. The presenter is the prefecture-level auction ground. Most of the words here are the distances of some mercenary groups, and most of the auctions are some healing elixir and some strange things. As for the Zon level and Huang level auction houses, they are open around the clock. Let's go. Xiaoyan also walked out of the room slowly, then passed by Mu Yingying's room and knocked on the door lightly. Obviously, after what happened yesterday, Xiaoyan was quite concerned about this Mu Yingying, and always felt that this Mu Yingying seemed to have some secrets, but it was hard to ask. There was also a heart-like sound like a silver bell in the room, and then a pure white jade hand slowly opened the door. You are very beautiful today. Xiaoyan was also amazed by the sudden beauty of Mu Yingying. In the past, Mu Yingying wore a roof skirt most of the time, and her hair was also straight up. First, it was for the convenience of cultivation, and second, it was also for the convenience of walking. It's just that today's Mu Yingying has an invisible fragrance all over her body, and her hair is also exquisitely dressed. A pair of silver hairpins also dress up her hair very beautifully, with long eyelashes and slightly moving beautiful eyes blinking. The top of her lips is also glowing with color, and her clavicle is looming, which is extremely attractive. Let's go. Before Xiaoyan could turn around, Mu Yingying also put on a large windbreaker, perfectly covering the exposed shoulder and collarbone. Cough, cough. Xiaoyan coughed a few times when he saw this, and then went down with Mu Yingying. On the first floor of the inn, Lao Zhu and Mu Feng were already waiting here. Let's go if you have nothing to do. Elder Zhu also glanced at Mu Yingying and said. Mu Feng also stared at Mu Yingying and Xiaoyan for a while, and found that the two of them were strange at this time, but they didn't speak, and kept up with Zhu Lao's pace. The group of 4 had just left the inn and came to Xuanling City on the road leading to the Xuanling royal family auction. Wow, is there a mistake? So many people? Mu Feng was also surprised that his eyes were about to fall. In addition to ghosts, it was the first time that Mu Feng saw so many people gather towards the place. This is just the tip of the iceberg. After all, the auction sponsored by the Xuanling royal family is held once every 10 years, and it is quite a grand and prosperous world throughout the entire Xuanzhen 3 days, so such a scene is not surprising. Zhu Lao also smiled. Obviously, because of the disapproval of the Xuanling royal family yesterday, Zhu Lao's mood has also improved a lot. Moreover, Elder Zhu also exposed his strength to the eyes of the Xuanling royal family, half immortal. If the Xuanling royal family has any other thoughts, they must first weigh their own abilities. After all, Elder Zhu still has another identity, a battle formation master. That's why Zhu Lao had already planned to do this. When Xiaoyan heard this, he also looked away, staring at the pedestrian path where people came and went. Well, anyone who patrols is at the level of a 5-star Do D. The next moment, Xiaoyan also discovered that there were many soldiers in armor maintaining order on the road. These soldiers, without exception, are all wearing heavy armor, but this does not affect their efficiency in the slightest, and they are well behaved, and it is obvious that they are professionally trained. Tiger head. Anyone from the Tiger Tooth Army? Xiao Yan also noticed that these soldiers had tiger heads carved on their shoulders, and immediately said to himself, I can't believe that this time, even the people from the Hoya Legion have been transferred as soldiers to maintain order. The Xuanling royal family seems to have a lot of money this time. Zhu Lao also found the tiger on the shoulders of the soldiers who were patrolling and maintaining order. The head is immediately the Dao. Old Zhu, what exactly is there in this auction? Mu Feng also asked curiously. Don't look at me, even I don't know anything about this auction. Since the Xuanling royal family has mobilized the Hoya Legion, the Wolf Eagle Legion will definitely not be idle, and what is being auctioned at this auction, let alone me, even the Xuanling king may not know. The secret work of the Xuanling royal family is very well done. At the end of the sentence, Zhu Lao also said with some envy. It's here. Just after speaking, several people came to a behemoth. In front of this behemoth, the figures of Xiao Yan and the others were as small as ants. It was a huge building occupying the entire hill. The building is all gray and about several hundred meters in size. From the outside, it looks like a watermelon was cut from the middle, and it stands in an oval shape on the top of the mountain. In the center of the oval building, a huge immortal character slowly stands in front of everyone. Even from a long distance away, Xiao Yan could still feel the enormity and grandeur of this immortal-level auction house. This is just the periphery of an auction hall. It is so grand, I really can't imagine what the situation will be inside. Xinya 81 Zhang Weian Wang Yu. Kai 8.1 ZS, Coem, link to hahao.novelmtl.com. This fairy-level auction house was originally abolished by the Xuanling royal family, so I asked people from the Tujia people to build it. Old Zhu's voice also sounded slowly. Tujia, I hope it won't be such a coincidence. Xiao Yan heard the words and seemed to be thoughtful. Because Xiao Yan clearly remembered that the unruly girl he met in the medicine market was also wearing a jade pendant with earth characters engraved on his waist. Combining the thick fighting spirit on her body, all the signs indicate that the woman seems to be a Tujia. This Tujia is very prosperous in the Xuanling royal family. Xiao Yan didn't want to have too many grudges with them, and he didn't think about it. However, Xiao Yan also did not think about the mental loss that the lion said and the girl asked for. Right as a joke, teacher, Tu Ling also came to the foot of the fairy-level auction house, and immediately said to the old man in front of him. Well, this is the mental loss fee that the alchemist needs. You can give it to him when you see him later. Tu Ling's teacher also said absent-mindedly. When I went back, I was scolded by my family. Not to mention, this little princess Tu Ling really likes to cause trouble. By the way, that person is from the Fenxiang Pavilion. It seems to be Xiao Yan. The old man also said, Xiao Yan, you actually made this young lady embarrassed. I will definitely make you look good. After Tu Ling finished speaking, he also angrily took a collection ring prepared by his teacher, and then headed for the auction. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 413. Let's go to the auction first. Elder Zhu also said. At this time, Xiao Yan and the others were also standing at the foot of the mountain where the immortal grade auction house was located, and they couldn't help being a little shocked. I am afraid that the cost of this huge mountain range of hundreds of feet is quite high. Let's go. Xiao Yan and the others were not procrastinators, they answered and walked straight away. This auction house is located on the top of the mountain, and if they want to enter, they need to climb the mountain range, but the Xuanling royal family considered that the people who came to the immortal level auction site today are all powerful figures of great power, and immediately cancelled the immortal level auction. There was no air ban outside the field, so several people also flew directly. After a while, several people also came to the mountaintop entrance of the immortal grade auction house. When we came to the top of the mountain, the huge auction hall also came into view. Everyone could only see a small entrance door. The others were blocked by rocks. Then, at the entrance of the auction hall, a red carpet of dozens of meters was also paving the way. It is obviously very stylish. Then at the entrance, several women with hot bodies and thin waists greeted those who came to the auction with a smile. Xiao Yan is also slightly skeptical at the moment, and found that these women with extremely hot statures reveal a charm from their bones. This kind of thing is obviously a special training on how to bring out their own charm to the greatest extent. Young Master Sun, it's early today. Just as Xiao Yan and the others approached the entrance slowly, a soft voice also appeared. The one who spoke was one of the hot-figured women, and from time to time, he secretly greeted the man. It's not too early. The man called Sun Gongzi was dressed in armor, and the armor covered his whole body, and then only a pair of women stared at the woman in front of him with strange eyes. If such a woman was taken down on the bed by himself when he groaned softly. It's just that this idea only lasted for a moment and disappeared without a trace, because he also knew that these women are not selling their bodies. The princes of the royal family cannot escape. This grandson is obviously also a prominent figure in the Xuanling royal family. This person is actually a mid-stage 5-star fighting emperor. Xiao Yan also discovered the strength of this grandson, and immediately was secretly amazed. It is said that within the Xuanling royal family, there are two extremely large families. One is the Tujia family, and the other is the Sun family. The Tujia is responsible for almost all the buildings of the Xuanling royal family and Xuanling city, and this Sun family is responsible for the guard of Xuanling city. But to be honest, this Sun family and Tujia, or Tujia, let the entire Xuanling royal family and Xuanling city even more. The people of Lingcheng are quite fond of it. After all, this Tujia built the Great Wall of 10,000 miles and successfully resisted the invasion of the Medusa clan. For the Xuanling royal family and Xuanling city, a lot of peace was thrown on the streets, so this Tujia also it can be regarded as the only hero in this Xuanling royal family. Master Sun is already inside, he asked me to tell you. Hurry in when you come. The sweet woman also said slowly. Understood. Sun Gongzi also responded directly, and then his body slightly turned his head and stared at Xiao Yan and a few people not far behind him. It was a group of 4 people, 3 men and 1 woman. 2 young men also walked slowly towards here. An elderly man was looking around lazily. What attracted Sun Shang the most was that woman. The girl was quite handsome, with a slightly undulating chest and long eyelashes. An indescribable feeling came out of Sun Zhang's heart. Even a veteran like Sun Shang who spent years in the flowers couldn't help but be obsessed. Cough, cough. Mu Yingying seemed to have sensed Sun Zhang's gaze, and Mu Yingying also coughed a few times to remind her. When Xiao Yan heard the words, he had already discovered it, but he didn't make the first move. After all, this is an immortal-level auction hall, and all the people who can enter here are some high-profile people. Hee, I don't know where this young lady's power is. Sun Shang also retracted his gaze. Although the woman made him quite enthusiastic, he also knew that those who could enter this place were untouchable. Power, immediately asked. This. The girl at the door was also stunned by Sun Zhang's sudden question. Although they are serving the people who come to the auction, they are only acting as a guide. As for the distribution of the people participating in the auction and others, they have no detailed understanding of the power distribution of the people participating in the auction, so Sun Zhang's question is also a question. Ask 3, I don't know. How? Don't even give me Sun Zhang's face. Sun Zhang's eyes also changed slightly, and then he said extremely displeased. Master Sun, slaves don't dare. It's just that the above didn't tell us about these things. So, the woman also said hesitantly. Although this Sun family only acts as a guard above the Xuanling royal family, its strength should not be underestimated, because the Sun family lives in an 8-star fighting emperor-level powerhouse, so no matter who she is a small even the little servants can't afford to provoke them. Aren't you afraid of courting death if you provoke me? Sun Shang felt a little angry as soon as he finished speaking, then raised his palm and slapped him directly. This is a blow from a mid-stage 5-star Do D. If it goes on like this, I'm afraid this girl's situation will be more fortunate than fortunate. Humph. Sun Shang, you actually bullied a woman? Aren't you ashamed when you spread it out? A sullen look spread out instantly, and then a woman with a rather elf-like appearance also appeared, blocking Sun Zhang's attack. Miss Tu Ling, thank you. The girl also said in a panic. Fortunately she was fine. Humph. Tu Ling, don't meddle in your own business, otherwise. Sun Shang also snorted coldly. Otherwise what? Tu Ling also looked like he was not afraid of the link to skywww.novelmtl.com and then said directly to Sun Shang. I'm too lazy to argue with you, let's say goodbye. After Sun Shang finished speaking, he also directly entered the immortal rank auction. Here, Xiao Yan, this is the mental loss from the past. Seeing Sun Shang leaving, Tu Ling asked if the running girl was injured, then walked towards Xiaoyan slowly, and took out one. The low-level acceptance ring was directly handed to Xiaoyan. This. I understand Miss Tu's kindness, but it was all a joke before. Seeing this, Xiaoyan also shied away. Previously, this earth spirit gave him the feeling of being rude. Unexpectedly, the sense of justice was still quite strong at this time. The scene just now clearly made Xiaoyan quite fond of the image of this earth spirit. Just take it, it's my fault for what happened before. Tu Ling was not at all displeased. After all, in his own Tu family, there are very few people of his generation who can make him look different. This Xiaoyan must be regarded as one of them. 1. Then it's better to be respectful than obedient. Xiaoyan was too lazy to pay attention to it. After all, he knew by virtue of his perception that there were several emperor-level pills in this ring. Although the value was extremely high, for this Tujia, it is also like a drop in the bucket. The man just now was Sun Shang from the Sun family, another big family in the Xuanling royal family. It is said that he has reached the midterm strength of the 5-star Dou Emperor at a young age, and has a vague attempt to replace his father. Continue. Ask for tickets. Xinya 81 Zhang Huiyan Wang U. Kai 8. Approximately 1 ZS. Coem. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 414. Sun Shang. The corner of Xiaoyan's mouth moved slightly. Obviously, although this Sun Shang was a mid-stage 5-star Dou Emperor, Xiaoyan also had self-confidence. It seemed that Sun Shang would not be much of a hindrance to him. However, the Sun family still has an 8-star Dou Emperor strongman in charge, which is really terrifying. Xiaoyan also thought a little. Then if Sun Shang is like this next time, I will definitely gouge out his eyes. Mu Yinying, who was beside him, said a little angrily. Obviously, Sun Shang staring at her like that made her extremely uncomfortable. Comfortable. This should be the old zoo in the burning incense pavilion, right? The next moment, Tu Ling also floated his head and said to the old zoo in front of Xiaoyan and the others. Hey, little doll, your eyesight is good. Old Zhu also opened his eyes slightly, then smiled. Previously, Elder Zhu had always closed his eyes, but the huge soul power and spiritual power had already spread all over the place, so he was very clear about what just happened. Tujia Tu Ling, I have seen Lord Zhu Jin. When Tu Ling heard this, he was also overjoyed, then stood upright and bowed to Zhu Lao 9. Nice little guy. If the Tujia has such excellent seedlings as you, it is considered a successor. Elder Zhu also said slowly. Little girl, wait for me. When Zhu Lao and Tu Ling were talking, an old man also appeared, and this old man was the master of Tu Ling, Tu Ling. Master, you are so slow. I already said that if you don't hurry up, you won't be able to catch up with Xiaoyan to discuss. Tu Ling also grabbed the arm of his master Tu Xingjie and said quite coquettishly. Your Excellency is here, pay attention to the image. The Earthwalker glared at the Earth Spirit, and then also said hello to Zhu Lao. Ula tilde, when Tu Ling heard the words, he also made a grimace at his master Tu Xingjie, and his appearance was quite funny, which made Xiaoyan and the others burst into laughter. It's not too early, let's go in together. The Soil Walker also opened his mouth and said, obviously it's not good to be at the entrance of this auction hall all the time. Elder Zhu responded, and when the group of 6 was about to enter the auction, 2 women with a rather gloomy aura appeared behind them. The aura of these 2 people seems a little strange, a little bit different from the people in our Xuanxin Center. The Earthwalker also tightened his expression and said, 2 extremely outstanding women also came towards the entrance of the auction. The 2 women were slender and wore veils to hide their appearance, but surprisingly, the ankles of the 2 women were exposed. No shoes were worn at all, and a string of bells were wrapped around the ankles, but when the 2 walked, the bells did not make any sound. Cough, cough, cough. The vindictiveness on this person seems to be extremely poisonous. In the next moment, Tu Ling also quietly used his strength and went to investigate the 2 women, but he was unexpectedly attacked by the green vindictiveness on the 2 women's bodies. To a trace of backlash. The front with the heavy ruler on his back doesn't seem to be easy. The fighting chi in the body is actually suppressing me faintly. It seems that they noticed what the Earth Spirit was doing, and the 2 women also appeared on their bodies at the same time. Do Chi, and then one of the women also questioned Xiaoyan. That should be a person from the Poison Sect in the wild land east of Xuantianshan. Elder Zhu, who has always been taciturn, also said, "Poison Sect? Evil poisonous body?" Xiao Yan was also shocked when he heard this. "When I just came to this Btth continent, the first woman I met, Qing Yuan also told me that there is such a terrifying sect on this Xuanling continent, the Poison Sect. It is a person with a poisonous body. The little doctor immortal on the Btth continent doesn't know how to get it. Or that woman named Qing Yuan is still fine. Poison Sect? The sect master of the Poison Sect is a ruthless man. However, the Poison Sect has long since retired to the barren land for hundreds of years. Regardless of the major event of Zhang Santian, it is really strange that he will come to participate in the auction of the Xuanling royal family." The soil traveler also touched with his long beard. No wonder the vindictiveness on their bodies is extremely poisonous. At this time, the earth spirit, because of the rash test just now, also caused the poison gas to enter the body, and the complexion turned pale. "Take it, it's nothing to get involved in." Xiao Yan also gave Tu Ling a helpless glance, then took out an elixir from Naji in his hand, and slowly handed it to Tu Ling. Tu Ling also took it directly, without hesitation. He swallowed it directly. With the swallowing of this medicinal pill, Tu Ling's complexion also improved instantly, and the displeasure of the poison gas entering his body disappeared without a trace. Xiao Yan's medicinal pills were left behind when he treated the little medical immortals, so for the people of this Poison Sect, it also has a very strong effect of removing toxins. "Please don't try, Your Excellency, we are acting on orders." The green vindictiveness of the two women slowly emerged, and the next moment, the vindictiveness outside the body also disappeared, but the two were facing Xiao Yan and the others. At the same time, he spoke. "He, all the people from the Poison Sect have come from afar. As the Tujia, we naturally want to have a little bit of the friendship of the landlords. It was just a little misunderstanding." The Earthwalker also stood up and laughed, and then rolled his eyes at the Earth Spirit beside him. "This little girl is really a troublemaker, she can cause trouble wherever she goes." Xinya 81 Zhang Wian Wang U. Kai 8.1 ZS. Koem. "Do you know that we are members of the Poison Sect?" Among the two women, one woman was also full of unbelievable words. "The Poison Sect's poisonous fighting chi is the best in the world. I'm afraid there are not many people who don't know each other in the entire Xuanzhen 3 days." The Earthwalker also said, "Tujia?" One of the two women also murmured, "Senior sister, let me do my business link to first www.novelmtl.com." Another woman also said, "Yep, everyone, we have other things on us, so let's go first." After the woman finished speaking, she also dragged the woman next to her and entered the auction room directly. It's just that when the two women were about to enter the auction, they turned to look at Xiao Yan, and they were obviously interested in this person. "Senior sister, what's wrong?" The woman next to her also asked slightly. "It's alright, it's just that I suddenly felt that the man with the heavy ruler had an uncomplicated aura." Another woman also said. After the two finished speaking, they also disappeared at the entrance. It seems that this Poison Sect has discovered something. When I deal with the matter of the perfect Dusha clan, I really should go and take a look. After all, the relationship between our Fenxiang Pavilion and Poison Sect was quite friendly at the beginning. Zhang disappeared. Zhu Lao also said slowly in his heart. This auction is probably the most prosperous for the Xuanling royal family in the past 100 years. I can't believe that the poisonous sect is so powerful. Let's go, a few little fellows, let's open your eyes and see what an auction is prosperous. Elder Zhu also said with a smile, and then led a few people towards the auction. Let's go too. This auction is mainly to give you rich eyesight. As for the auction, it is time to adapt accordingly. After the Earthwalker finished speaking, he also walked in directly with the Earth Spirit. End of this chapter.